Hey Bianca.
Hi, Alex.
It's
How's
like
it
we
going?
started with this giant chatbot on screen.
Oh
Which we
my
love that
gosh.
we love the bot. We love the Twilio bot. It's so much fun. But how you
You
doing today, Bianca?
I was like, did the bot tell you to say that? Did the bot give
Yes.
you messages to okay. Is it Alex or is it the
Hey,
bot?
you guys have seen
You
some of
know,
that AI technology. There's definitely enough film time of us here. Am I real?
that is
You
true.
gotta ask
Cause I
yourself
was
that.
just like, I
Am I
was
just
like,
rendered?
even the way you were like thanking the bot, I'm like, Alex, whoa, did you write that script? Or was it informed by the bot? But yes, how's it going? So yes, what do we have? I don't have any snacks today. Do
You
you
don't
have
have
your hand?
snacks today? I
I
do have
know.
snacks. I
Okay. What
have
do
a
you got?
little like bar I can eat, and then I got some Costco cashews because Costco is a good place to buy some nuts.
That's real.
And
Costco cashews. Do you
got some
have the tea?
tea. I do.
Okay.
I have a yeah. I'm brewing a little. It's a pu'er. It's my favorite pu'er. It comes in these like it's great for travel. It comes in these like little tiny bricks that are like the right amount to like for each tea. So it's great for travel because you can just throw those in. And it's super caramely and it just tastes really yummy. So
Puer, puer, comme le français.
yeah, got to get the
Puer.
the fermented. It's. I think you're saying it's French. I'm pretty sure it's very Chinese.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
awkward.
Yeah, no,
Awkward.
it's okay. I
Okay.
don't. I don't. I wish I knew more. I need to get more into the tea stuff. But like, it's a
Okay.
fermented tea, typically out of China. It usually comes in these giant round discs, which are pretty cool. And they came that way because that's how they like traded along the Silk Road. So like, it stores really well, and so they would like take it along the Silk Road, and like that's how they distributed tea across Asia. Was in these bricks of fermented tea that last really long.
Okay, now I know. Wow, this is
Yeah.
good. This is exciting. No, yeah, this is chat. Definitely let us know what snacks. What is it? I was like, what snacks y'all have in the mix? Are you a tea person? Are we doing coffee this fine? I mean, at
It's
2
afternoon
p.m.
for you.
Yeah, so it's like, what is
It's
it?
actually
Tuesday.
afternoon for me too. But
Yeah. So coffee anytime.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so today, what are we talking about? Like, what are we on? What are we on today?
You Bianca, you tell me. I feel like this so Bianca and I kind of like go back and forth and not quite we like basically pass it back and forth of who's gonna plan this one, but you definitely planned this show. So why don't you give us that good agenda?
Okay, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Wow, great. I did not set this up. That was that about throwing it to Alex and back to me. But okay, so today we're talking about like moving past the excitement. So I think whenever there are these like new technologies, right? So like AI, and then it's like the crowd goes wild, woo! And then it's like, okay, so then what next, right? So for us today, we wanted to talk about like how does that look like? What are some of the drivers that folks can use to kind of move past like that initial excitement of like AI or any new thing that we see. So we'll be talking like later on in the show, we'll be talking about like how does that show up in like corporate innovation, specifically like robotics. We'll also be talking about competitions as a driver to do that. And then we'll also even talk about what is that thing called? AI Searchlight, which is another tool that we're using to kind of just like push innovation. But I think the combo today is definitely like all things like beyond the excitement. So also if chat, like if you have any kind of examples or how you're finding that folks are like keeping the momentum going, we'd love to hear it. But yeah, that's what you can expect from us today. So we're super excited. We also have a guest coming in later on in the stream. So lots of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, when you're talking about that beyond the excitement thing, I was really lucky that I got to go back a little before the pandemic. I started grad school in like 2018 or 19. I think I started right at the beginning of 2019 and studied robotics and like talk about being in a field with so much hype and then seeing how hard it is to do everything. It is such a challenge. I remember when I was there, people were like freaking out because somebody had finally built a robot to like fold laundry. and it did one shirt pretty poorly. So like these things are hard, and working in the physical world is hard, and we see so much speed and innovation working in the digital world now. Like, right, AI has gone so fast. But like, I think bringing some of those things into the real world can be a challenge. And I really got to appreciate how hard some of the stuff was in grad school, and also how possible things are too. It's both. So that was it's really lucky that I got that experience. And then I got there before the pandemic hit, so I got to actually like be there and do some stuff and build some things, which was cool.
No, that's really dope. I also think like even what you mentioned around like pulling things out into the real world, like I'm cracking up. I was like, I'm thinking about your bit in your video where you were talking about like scheduling. It's like, I'm a computer, be specific. By the way, if you haven't checked out that video, highly recommend. Alex created a great tutorial on scheduling, WhatsApp and SMS messages. We'll drop that in chat. But like a computer is very specific and it applies to a specific use case. And I think once you have to deal with like the nuance of being human, having to go to brunch, it gets a little wild,
Yeah.
It gets a little crazy.
No, I want to shout out to Brent for spearheading the project to make that video, and to our creative partners who made the video and all the graphics and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun. And I got to sprinkle some of my own. There's a little Hitchhiker's Guide reference in there, and that was my love showing through. But the writers who do these things, they like learn about you, and they wanted to incorporate robots and things, and it was great. But yeah, it's there's just that human element of things that always makes it challenging.
Yeah. But yeah, humans are complex beings. Cool. So I guess to kick it off, Alex had a conversation with one of our colleagues. But yeah, Alex, can you kind of just let us know, how was that? What did y'all talk about? Do you want to share it with the group?
Yeah, for sure. So we're currently running the Twilio AI Startup Searchlight, and it's the second time we're doing it. And the first time was a ton of fun. And we have a little like startup builder team that is Bianca, myself, and the third member who no one has seen on the stream yet, Frank. Frank, who's one of our favorite people. And he's based in London, so it's a little hard for him to get on the stream. He also just had a daughter, so he's got a little baby at home. So again, hours are strange. But he's running the AI Startup Searchlight, which is a really big project. And we just sat down for like 10 or 15 minutes and chatted about what it was and learned a little bit more about that process. And I think we're planning to play that video, right? Or do you want me to talk about it? I think we're planning to play it.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay. I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So yeah, we can turn it. There we go. And then our one of our leaders on the team, Nikki Twilio Startups, talk about Twitch for there. It's Nikki is the team manager now, but was our manager for the three of us for a while. And she's dropping that page there. So if you are a startup or know a startup who's doing stuff with AI, go apply. But how did you know it was me? Yes. So we'll pull this onto screen really quick. But thanks for joining. But yeah, so we've got this little interview I did with Frank, and we can roll that to learn a little bit more about the program. Hi, Frank. Can you introduce yourself?
Hey, Alex. Hi, everyone. So basically, my name is Frank Yarusu. I work on the startups team here at Twilio. I've been here for about coming up to 5 years, and I'm currently working with Alex and the team on the Twilio AI Searchlight Startup Initiative.
What is the Twilio AI Startup Searchlight?
So the Twilio AI Startup Searchlight is basically, it's an awards program that we're running this year for the second time. We ran it last year around Q3, Q4. It did really well. And so we're super excited this time to, make it a lot bigger. We're running it again, and we really want to showcase, celebrate, and just really highlight the amazing work that startup founders are doing, leveraging AI, LLMs, any form of like innovative emerging technology and how they're using this in conjunction with Twilio. So we're super excited to get this back around again for the second time.
So how's the whole process work? I know there's like applications and then judges. Can you just kind of run through from a starter perspective what the process would look like?
Yeah. So in terms of what the process currently looks like for a startup, you go onto the website, you go down to fill a form. If you're applying yourself as a startup, happy for that to be the case. Like you can apply directly. If you're within the startup ecosystem or you're aware of really groundbreaking, amazing startups that are really pushing the frontier of AI and innovation and building with Twilio, you can nominate them as well. When you fill out the form, you should receive a thank you email, for your submission. And then basically we'll be running this until the 29th of September, 2024. It will close around, I think, 11:59 Pacific time. When we do close the program on the 29th of September, we'll be sending out emails to everyone, letting them know that we're now moving to the judging phase. And we'll be letting everyone know exactly how the judging goes, and like all the different rounds of judging, if they've made it to the next round, et cetera, et cetera. But that would be the overall process. And then I think we will be announcing winners as outlined in the website mid-November. Hopefully is when we'll be letting everyone know, if they've won and who the winners are.
And then if you're a winner, what happens? What do you get?
So super exciting this year. If you're a winner, of course, you're getting $10,000 in one-time Twilio credit, which is amazing because you can really use that to not only experiment, but to scale any compelling use cases you have. And it's a great way to just test with Twilio and give you a bit of a buffer from a credits perspective. You'll also be getting $5,000 in one-time Apple gift cards. So, again, this is a really great opportunity to use those gift cards either for like MacBooks or any kind of resources or Apple tools you might need for yourself and your founding team or employees. Another thing you'll be getting a lot of PR exposure. So we'll be working with two, very reputable media outlets to provide you with a lot of exposure about what you're building, who your startup is, and how you're really pushing the frontier of AI and Twilio. We'll also be collaborating with you in a variety of different ways. So Twilio itself will be collaborating with you in a variety of different ways on different like marketing initiatives potentially. And you will be getting, I think you'll be getting $500 that you can also use. It'll be a one-time credit as well, but $500 that you can use for either production or business support. And I think there's a lot more other things you can expect to receive, but those will be the high level, prizes you can hope to receive should you be one of the 12 winners.
And what kind of startups are we looking for in this program?
I think obviously the key thing for any founder, or any startup, or anyone who's, thinking about, who are we really looking for? The key thing to think about is startups that are, of course, building compelling solutions or end user solutions with AI, which is a big thing. If they're also leveraging emerging technology in a compelling way. So how are you using big data? How are you processing your data? How are you leveraging data in really smart, compelling ways to create fantastic end solutions for your customer? That's one parameter of what we're looking for. But then we're really trying to double down and look at how are amazing companies, amazing founders leveraging emerging tech, AI, big data, LLMs, all of these interesting things with Twilio. How are they really pushing the frontier of customer engagement, communications? How are they really using, for example, AI and Twilio to maybe, preempt what a customer would need, or really drive communications in such a compelling way that customers don't need to even think too much about, what their experiences are going to be, because you've already understood based on a customer's previous experiences with your product or solution that this is what they might need. So we're really looking for founders who are on the fringes, on the cusp of innovation, doing really compelling things. And we're just super excited to see all the variety of different ways that founders are building. me, Alex, so many people on the team, we always akin Twilio to Lego blocks. And I think there is so many different ways founders could be building with AI and Twilio and LLMs and Twilio and emerging tech and Twilio. So I think it's a super amazing opportunity for startups and for founders. It shouldn't take too much work if they're already, currently doing that and currently building. And so we're super excited to see how people are building with Twilio.
And how did this whole thing come about? How did we, where did the first one come from? You said this was the second. How did the first one come about?
So how this came about is we were doing like a lot of work. We've had a startups program at Twilio for a long time. And one of the things our team was always super curious about was, how are people building? Like, we want to see real tangible cases of how people are building. And I think that really sparked the desire, the insights. Like, you know what, we would love to see more examples of founders building. Myself and Alex, we've been doing office hours, and Nikki and different people in the team, we've been doing office hours for a long time. And that's usually where we get to see what's under the hood, how founders are building, what their product roadmap is. And we're like, you know what, could we scale this by order of magnitude to do something that really showcases that amazing work? I think so many times on a founder's journey, they're working so hard, founders are doing really amazing things. And I think this is one of these few opportunities that founders get in a very light-hearted way to just showcase the amazing work that they're doing. So the inception of this came from, we're doing office hours, connecting with founders. We began to also, ask questions internally about, hey, like, what are founders actually building with AI and Twilio? We would love to see more of this. And I think this created a sort of convergence whereby, you had, I think it was a ripple effect of multiple factors that came into play. And I think that's what birthed this initiative. And it's super exciting to really see how people, founders, startups, businesses are innovating with both Twilio and AI to create compelling solutions for their customers.
And you mentioned this was the second Twilio AI Startup Searchlight. So can you give me a quick recap of how the first one went?
So the first one went really well. It took place in 2023. I think it was, as I mentioned, it was between Q3, Q4 last year, from around, I think it was September to October. And we had, I think, around 93 applications, 6 winners. It was great when we did that, the first AI Searchlight, because I think AI, for anyone who's like really into the space, knows it's been happening for a really long time. But it was great to actually get a lens or a pulse on how founders were building with Twilio. When we actually got to see that tangibly last year, it drove a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, both internally and externally. And then we decided, you know what, we would love to do this again, because we saw the results, we saw how good it was, we saw the positivity in the market and the reception that we received. And I think what I'm really excited about is AI it's become ubiquitous. So we're getting to a point where every startup is integrating AI in some capacity, which is super exciting. I think what the competition this year provides for both founders and for us as a team who are going to be evaluating these submissions is we're now really beginning to look at substance and value over hype. We now know that AI is here to stay and it's going to mature. We really now want to see, okay, beyond the hype and the promises of AI, who are those companies, those startups, those founders who are really building real value, real substance in AI with Twilio or with emerging technology and Twilio to drive really compelling end user solutions. And so I'm super excited this year, more so than ever, because I think, let's be honest, the AI space is maturing. It's no longer, I wouldn't say it's nascent. I think there is a maturity that's coming with it. And with the maturity creates not just outlier success, but people, founders, businesses that are building for the long term rather than, chasing the short term hype that comes with anything that's novel. So I'm super excited for that.
Awesome. I think that's what is there anything else you want to share or you think you missed?
I would say I'll just really push all founders, all startups, even if you're not yet ready, definitely think of this competition as a sounding board. You might be building something that's not fully baked yet, but this could be a fantastic sounding board for you to really see how it's received. No, it's not going to be seen in the public. It's just going to be Twilio, and we've got a very notable. So it's going to be our executive team who's going to be judging, these applications, and we've also got a VIP executive judge from a very, very prominent VC fund based in SF as well, who's going to be part of the judging team with our executive leadership team. So I would recommend, look, the best thing you can really get, I mean, of course, you can win, which is an amazing thing. If you win, that's fantastic. But again, really use this opportunity for the feedback, use it as a sounding board, use it to test, experiment, use it to see, even if you weren't thinking necessarily about Twilio per se right now at this point in time, it's a very interesting way you can get quick feedback about, okay, potentially down the line, how could I integrate communications and AI? Or what does communications look like with the product or the solution that I'm building, and what would be the implications or the impact of this be on the market? Like, that's what this kind of initiative and award program is for, beyond just the winning. So I would just, push any founder, any startup to, definitely apply, give it a go. And, myself, Alex, our team, like, we are here to support. We're here to ask any questions. If you've got any queries, ping me. I'm super responsive. And we're just excited to support founders on their journey to growing and scaling with Twilio, and just providing as much support as possible on their founder journey and experience.
I'm so glad we finally got Frank on stream.
it took a recording, but hey, we
got there.
Baby steps. I mean, so many things kind of like popped out. I think this, like, figuring it out from a business standpoint. So I think, like, it's so cool because we actually got a chance to talk to a lot of our PMs here at Twilio, and like, I think that common theme around, like, you literally are building something from scratch, right? Like, there isn't like a clearly defined, like, hey, this is what we're creating, this is what's needed. So I do think, like, having these competitions really surface out, like, what are some of the common use cases, right? Like, what is the market really needing? And I think there is something to be said about that. Were there things that, like, stuck out to you in terms of, like, I think the role of these, like, competitions?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I loved last year doing this, getting to be a part of the judging. And then we also, Bianca and myself, got to talk to several of the winners and do interviews. And, like, it was so, they were so much insight. So, like, I'm really excited to do that again. That's one thing. But yeah, I think that this competition is just, it's a really cool opportunity. Here's the thing. Ideally, we would just be able to help everybody, right? And ideally, we would just be able to, like, give everyone credits and have a relationship with everybody and share everybody's story. And we, like, try to do that as much as possible. But at the end of the day, like, there's a little bit limited resources. And I'm just glad that we have a way to still get a lot of value to people who are going to find it meaningful with the resources that we do have. I just, like, yeah, I think that a whole competition, I've been in several, like, startup competitions before, from, like, literally, like, the Chicago Lean Startup Challenge to, like, participating in one of the X Prizes kind of as, like, a contractor. So I've seen how much this stuff can really push innovation in different ways. And I just hope that we're doing that here as well. And kind of, like, helping people take that next step to just build.
I think one thing I'm curious about is, like you said, you've been a part of many challenges. One of the common things you'll hear is, like, this energy of, why should I step away, right, from building my company to go, like, work on the challenge, right? Like, I've heard that in different flavors of, like, these things can seem distracting. Like, what for you? Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, your take on that, like, dialogue.
Well,
like, it's distracting.
The X Prize thing I was doing was literally because there was a company who made it to, like, a next round that they weren't expecting in a robotics challenge, and hired the company I was working at to do it because it was distracting for them. So, like, It is distracting and it can be, but I think that it depends on how aligned with the competition you are, right? So let's look like in that case, the company was kind of like pivoting in a little bit different way. And so it wasn't aligned. And so, look at this challenge that we're doing, right? It's how does Twilio plus AI make a very special experience for customers or for your business? And so if you have an AI company and you just try to slap Twilio on it to get in the competition, that's a distraction. If you have a communications company and you just try to slap AI on there to get in the competition, that's a distraction. But if you find something that truly resonates, if you are truly a startup that is working on using AI to improve customer communications, then you're in such good alignment that doing this kind of a thing, even if you don't win, will push you in the right direction.
Oh my gosh, I love this because I even think about this, like, even from like a venture space, like there would be these startups that you're like, this VC does not invest in what you're building. Like just like find someone else to talk to. And I do think there is something to be said about like, as founders, as people, like as you're creating things, like alignment is so key. And I love this view around like, it should be less about I'm deviating to go meet the moment, but rather just like finding the things along your journey that like make sense, right? Whether it is a technology. So even as we talk about AI, right? Like AI might not make sense for some of your use cases. And I think I love this kind of unspoken thing around just like, there should be alignment first and foremost, whether it's like these competitions. And I think when you're in the excitement phase, everyone wants to participate in the excitement, right? Like everyone wants to let's keep this going. And like, I want to participate. I want AI sprinkles too. Yeah. So, so I do think finding that alignment is just like so core and so key. So I love that you like pulled out that insight.
The goal is for these competitions and things to push. And look, this is a pretty hands-off one, right? Someone applies, it's just done. So like, but the competitions that like go over time, it's kind of similar. Like it can be like an accelerator, right? Like if you find an accelerator that aligns and you're like pushing in a good direction, it's really beneficial. I think it's just you just got to be careful. Like anything, you're always going to be making choices and trade-offs in a startup, and you got to make the right ones and figure out how that all comes together. Yes, Chef Brent, that is my perfect diplomatic answer. Oh, is this about the Lego bricks still that we're going? We have a whole side chat going here about whether it's Legos or Lego bricks. And Way in chat, we're here to debate anything that you bring us. But we also ran another competition recently too, right? And we
did.
Yeah,
we did. So we did run another competition. It was with, I think, Dev2. Actually, you know what? Let me not even mess it up. Let me ask the person that was like running the challenge. So we have our good friend Rashab, formerly known as the R in the R testing day. So you may have seen Rashab as my guest co-host.
Root beer testing for a minute.
No, we called it R testing because it was like, oh no, it was Burr. It was Burr testing.
Burr, right. I'm like, I'm the you're the Burr.
Yes, correct. I was missing my it's great. So it was the Burr testing, not the pirate testing.
Sounds cold.
It does, the Burr. But it was great. So Rashab is joining us again today, but Rashab today is going to talk to us about the Dev2 challenge, and just kind of like really understanding like the magic part, right? Like the role of magic, right? In the sense of just getting people to build, right? And how important that might be. We're excited to have Rashab. Hey Rashab. Good.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Yeah, that's the stream when Bianca, you're gone, and it's just Rashab and I.
Wow. Am I?
Maybe we're either going to call it the R stream or the Beards and Glasses. One of the two.
Wow. I
like beard and glasses.
Not sponsored, I will say that could be beards. Yeah, I could see that. And I mean, we have been talking about getting beard oil sponsorship for the stream.
Have we?
I don't know. Um, so I'm so interested to see what the bot comes with the beards and the R, and it's chaos. But yes, so yeah, the stream that it'll just be you and Rashab. It'll be the
Yeah.
beards and glasses
And
R.
before we dive into the dev dot, is it dev.to or what? Yeah, okay. I just want to give a special shout out to Rashab. The first like couple of talks I did were all with the help of Rashab. So the first time I gave a public talk for anything Twilio related was at a meetup here in Denver, but I took one of Rashab's talks and I gave a Rashab demo with GitHub. And then the biggest in-person talk I've given to date was the one that Rashab and I did together, the masterclass we did at Transform a little over a year ago. So Rashab has kind of been like, I think we all joined around the same time, but Rashab's kind of been like, holding my hand as we've jumped into some of the abyss of giving talks. So special shout out to Rashab for being there for me, being a buddy.
No, thank you.
As
thank
we all
you,
did
Alex.
this together. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes the same way for me too. Like Collision has been my biggest like in-person attended talk, and I was super nervous, but thanks to Alex, it was, as soon as we got on stage, it was a breeze, and it's been great collaborating and working with you with all these, especially as we are talking about AI things, with all these new crazy inventions.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about the challenge that we just wrapped up recently?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. So it is not as similar to what we were like what you and Bianca were talking about regarding the Searchlight program, which I think is a great program. There have been some startups from the Canadian space that are interested in it, so looking forward to see the winners. But we had a hackathon which was virtual. So I have organized hackathons, in Toronto or Waterloo area, but the thing is the reach is not that much. There have been times when the community reaches out to me and it's like, oh, this is in person at this specific space, so like I can't participate. So we decided to partner with dev.to, which is a community, or I started using it as a blogging platform to share my knowledge or challenges that I've been facing when I was transitioning from my career, and it turned out to be great. So we partnered with them. It was a virtual global hackathon. Anybody could participate. The only thing you had to do is use Twilio's APIs along with any third-party AI solution or APIs. So it could be OpenAI, it could be Google's Gemini, or any of the open source models that you might host yourself through Hugging Face. And it was great. We received around 85 submissions for the hackathon, and I did wanted to showcase some of the submissions we received because it was just great to see like the magic that people brought with their developer skills to build these projects.
Yeah. So we have some stream. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So we'll be here in just a moment. Bear with us, please.
BRB. Okay, cool. We'll come up with some. Well, actually, no. Hopefully, we don't even need them because our streams will just be on point all the time. Is it working?
I don't know.
Hey y'all, we're back.
Oh, yes.
We are? Okay.
Are we back?
Well, are we? Didn't seem. All right, can y'all hear us? Can y'all see us? I think the stream screen is being synced. Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
y'all.
So you can see us. It's just
We
a
can't-
note for producer. We can't see the
We
stream
can't-
anymore, but that's
we
okay.
we
There
can't
we
see
go.
each other.
Yay!
Yeah.
This is the gift of having Chef Brent on your side is that like things are hard. I think streaming's really hard. For us, it just seems easy. Like we just show up and then Brett makes magic happen.
I'm just upset
So-
that this is now 2 weeks in a row that something's gone wrong. So something's wrong behind the scenes, and I don't know what it is. So,
They did say Mercury was in Gatorade.
is it back?
Yeah.
Is it back in the microwave?
It
Or
is.
is it Powerade?
is.
I forget. Yeah.
It's in the microwave.
So I'm just saying. So it
Okay.
could be causing some drama with the stuff. Also, thanks chat as always for joining us back when we need to go bye for a
I
moment.
appreciate someone
And thank you for
flagging
letting
that.
us know when stuff is off.
Yeah.
Yes. We're building this together. So Rashad was kind of explaining to us like about the competition, the hackathon. But yeah, like I don't know if you remember where you left off. Let's we'll go back to that.
Well, I actually have some questions, and I want to
Okay.
I want to get more into the dev.to stuff, but like, what's your history personally with either taking part in or what? Like, what's your personal history with competitions? Like, I know I don't know if you guys got a little bit of Rashad's story when he was on. I was at a farm in Germany when that was happening. It was strange when that stream, but like, have you used competitions to like boost your career, or like has it been a tool that you've used?
So that is a very interesting question, because up until like I was working in tech and was already, had made some transitions into cloud engineering, I didn't know that you as a student can participate in hackathons. And that was just me being not so active during my student life, I guess. But then I attended one of those and I'm like, this is super cool. You not only are able to talk to other developers and learn from them, but also able to build cool things and get some, really good feedback, and also see how it is being received, which I think is really important, specifically when you're early on career. So I started participating and organizing them more, because as much as I love participating in them, I also want to help folks who are early in career to like kind of build their brand, get those technical skills in. And also, I think this was kind of true back in before COVID, that most of the engineering students that I met, they didn't really focus on like soft skills and like presenting, how to document their projects and stuff. So when you're participating in these challenges and hackathons, it's like it's a complete project that you submit, right? It's not like, oh, this is the next engineering revolution, but you didn't have a really good explanation to explain what it does, and hence you cannot connect. So I think it builds the complete engineer that is needed, specifically with all these AI projects that I've been looking at.
Yeah, I think that note on soft skills is so key. One of my favorite classes when I was doing my master's was advances in robot learning, which is like we were reading cutting edge papers, right? It was like the hardest to understand, but part of the class was understanding the foundation of what was going on with ML and robotics. The bigger part of the class was how do you give a good presentation and how do you tell a story? And I love that the professor like made that a key, because he's like, this is the thing that's missing. I can teach you guys all this hard stuff, but unless you can tell a story, it doesn't really matter. So like, yeah, that storytelling is a big part of it.
It's so interesting because it's like you also even need that even at the company level, right? Like, you can have all the most amazing tech. If someone's like, how does this apply to me? Why should I be using this? And I do think the ability to kind of influence, the ability to like connect the dots for say a different team. So I love that introduction, Rashab, around like, really bringing it all together rather than it just being like, I'm excited about this thing. And it's like, okay, you're excited. And then what? How does this apply? What can we do with this? Should we be applying it on this project versus not? So I do think being able to like, the word that comes up is like holistic, like having a more holistic like conversation. So I love how this like the hackathons or building it at a hackathon kind of created that environment. No, yeah, good call. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,